Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Dooby dooby doo. Dooby dooby doo. Where is everyone? I am live. I am live like Memorex. Good evening, Mustard Chief, Callie Lisa, Kitiku. Good evening. Welcome to tonight's True Crime Trivia. Left-handed RN, good evening. I hope everyone had a good weekend. It was relaxing. Weather was hospitable for whatever you may need to do. It got up to what yesterday? It got up to 73 here. Pretty nice day. A little windy. It's like today. Been up and down. Breezy, light breeze, and then wind. Rah! Good evening, Gianna Marie. Excuse me. Kathleen, good evening. Welcome to tonight's trivia. I hope you had a great weekend. Give it another 50 seconds, and then we'll get going here on trivia night. Waiting for everybody to pop in, get settled down, get ready, get their thinking caps on. Yes, remember to be on all chat or all messages or live messages, not top chat. Lemon pie. Good evening, lemon pie. Already, it's spring forward. It is. All right. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. This is the 397th edition of True Crime Trivia. 396 trivia nights have been completed or in the books, and only about 260 of them are on YouTube. A bunch of them, of the earlier ones, are now gone because I didn't have anything on the screen. It was just me reading questions and then reading options for them. But a lot of those earlier ones are gone. But anyways, this trivia night is intended solely for entertainment and educational purposes. At no point do we diminish or disrespect the victims or survivors, nor do we place the perpetrator on a pedestal or present them in a manner that invites admiration. My educational background is in journalism and in research, and every question presented tonight is supported by verified facts, documented sources. All questions are presented in a multiple choice format. Participation is individual. There are no teams, no logins required, and no fees to play. This event is entirely free and designed simply for enjoyment. Participations are welcome to keep score if they choose but it is equally acceptable to play without tracking correct answers. And as Kitty Coo just reminded everyone in the chat, remember to be on live chat or all chat. So you will see the answers and the comments as they're coming in for the questions. Tonight we are doing trivia on John Eric Armstrong. John Eric Armstrong. John Aaron Armstrong, otherwise known as the Bad Seed Killer. Some people like to refer to him by another nickname, the Barbie Doll Killer or the Barbie Killer or the Playhouse Killer. I don't know why these names came up. I think one or two writers may have called him that, but he's always been the Bad Seed Killer. Was born November 23rd, 1973. Yes, he is still alive. He was convicted of killing 5 female sex workers in Detroit, Michigan in 2000. He confessed to an additional murder in 1991 and 11 others between 1992 and 1997. Though these killings were never confirmed, none of those 11 women have ever been seen again. If he didn't kill them, someone sure did. Tonight's trivia questions will all focus on the following areas. You can pause this right now if you want to read this, but otherwise the questions are ranked and you will see a button to the actual left that says easy, medium, hard, or unranked. These are what the buttons look like. Red button with the word clearly written across it, easy, medium, hard, or not ranked. Before we get started tonight, I want to tell you about my friend Jennifer's just started a YouTube channel that is family oriented and family kid friendly called the Solar System Squad. If you have kids that are ages 4 to 10, grandchildren, nieces, nephews, or anyone that's in that age group 4 to 10, this might be a channel you want to check out. But if fun facts and animations about the solar system, easy science explanations, interactive quizzes and songs, adventures with space characters. Whether you're a future astronaut or just learning about the universe, there's something here for everyone to explore. On your screen there, the top link in blue there is the link you can click to go check out the Solar System Squad. Jennifer is a retired reporter, but a journalist. But you can also check out her Balanced Life Studio, which is the second link there. I would really appreciate if you would, if nothing else, go check out the channel. Again, it's called the Solar System Squad. And make sure when you click on Solar System Squad, or if you put it in the search box, it has these little cartoon characters of planets. There is another channel called Solar System Squad that is not related to her channel at all. It is not kid oriented. It's a gaming channel. All right. Without further delay, let's get ready to rumble on some trivia. Question number 1 is now on your screen. What disturbing act did John Eric Armstrong perform after strangling each of his victims? Was it A, he burned their clothing, B, pleasured himself over the body, C, removed their jewelry as a trophy, or D, cut their hair? Good evening, every lady. Callie Lisa, good evening, and welcome to tonight's trivia to both of you. I hope you both had a terrific weekend. Question number 1 of 20. Smoke them if you got them. Question number 1. What disturbing act did John Eric Armstrong perform after strangling each of his victims? The correct answer is B as in boy. B as in boy. Question number 2. Armstrong often, but not always, targeted women working in which profession? Was it A, nurses, B, sales, C, taxi drivers, or D, sex workers? Question number 2. He watched the Jersey Shore. Kirikou has no clue for that one, but B looked like the correct answer. It was. It was, in fact, B. Armstrong often, but not always, targeted women working in which profession? B as in boy, Callie Lisa. B was the answer to question number 1. Question number 2. The correct answer is D as in dog. Of the 5 women that Eric Armstrong was convicted of murdering, all 5 of them were sex workers. But not all of his victims were sex workers. If we take the 11 others that he confessed, wrote out confessions, partial or full confessions to say, killing, only half of those were sex workers. The rest were runaways, drug addicts. But those are all unconfirmed killings, though, the other 11 that disappeared. Question number 3. How many of Armstrong's victims were found near what type of location? Was it A? I screwed this question up. All right. Question number 3. Many of Armstrong's victims were found near what type of location? There. I can read what I wrote. What type of location were they next to? Was it A, abandoned coal mines, B, school playgrounds, C, church parking lots, or D, rivers or streams? Many of, not how many of Armstrong's victims were found near what type of location? Question number 3 of 20. Many of Armstrong's victims. Kitty Q's going with B? Question mark? I don't know. Could be. Maybe. Jersey Shore houses. Lemon pie with the Jersey Shore references are strong tonight. Many of Armstrong's victims were located near what type of location? The correct answer is D as in dog. Rivers or streams. Rivers or streams. Were all of the 5 victims confirmed murders that he was convicted of. They were all found near rivers or streams. Question number 4. Armstrong served in which U.S. military branch? Was it A, Space Force, because it's real, B, Air Force, C, Navy, or D, Marines? Which branch of the military did Armstrong serve in? Good evening, Joe Tall Chief. Welcome to tonight's trivia. He was copying the Green River Killer. Sort of. In that aspect, the Green River Killer buried most of his victims within a short distance of the Green River, hence the name Green River Killer. So I guess I don't know if he ever cognitively, decided he was doing that. Easy place to dispose of victims where people are not going to necessarily look for them. Doge. He served in Doge. Of course, the kitchen clock says 5:15. Question number 4. Armstrong served in which U.S. military branch? The correct answer is C as in cat, United States Navy. When Armstrong served in the United States Navy, he served and was discharged honorably. He served on a nuclear submarine for his entire enlistment. Question number 5. FBI believes Armstrong may have killed around the world. How many victims do they believe he killed outside of the U.S.? Was it A, 10, B, 15, C, 8, or D, 21? Question number 5. The FBI believes Armstrong may have killed around the world. How many victims do they believe he killed outside of the U.S.? Kitty Q's going with C? Question mark? I don't own a wall clock that actually works. Speaking of the daylight savings time conversation that's going on here, you don't know what clock to believe when you wake up tomorrow. Every clock we own in our house is digital, and they automatically spring forward or fall back during the fall. Every clock, every television does the same thing. Every computer. We have a couple wall clocks. I've got like a Misfits, the band, their logo. I got one of the clocks in the other part of my shop, but it's the only clock that's not digital that I can think of right off the top of my head. Question number 5. The correct answer is C as in cat. The FBI believes that he may have killed 8 others outside of the United States at different ports where the Navy would come to for refilling and for more supplies. They believe he killed at least 8. Question number 6. Armstrong believed he was doing the world a service by doing what? A, helping rid the world of STDs, sexually transmitted diseases. B, killing the scum of society. C, keeping heaven freshly stocked. Or D, removing those that needed to be killed. Question number 6 of 20. I don't have a wall clock either, but my microwave and stereo and stove don't automatically change. My microwave does. My microwave also has, and I'm not joking when I say this, you can look them up on Amazon, but our microwave has built-in Alexa. I don't have Alexa out here where I'm at right now, but and it actually will tell you recipes on the tablet thing that's built into on the side of the microwave. I don't even want to know how much my wife paid for that microwave. I don't want to know. But it's got like a barcode scanner on it too. I've never used any of the features like that. I put my coffee in it and warm it up. That's the only thing I use a microwave for. I am very low tech. Kitiko is going with B, question mark, and every lady is going with B as well for question number 6. My phone changed this morning, says Kathleen. Phones pretty much do that. You know, anything that's connected to the internet. I don't have a smart microwave. Oh my God. That's a genius status microwave, right? I don't even want to know how much you paid for it, though. At least our refrigerator is dumb. It's one of the only appliances in our entire house that is not connected to via Wi-Fi. And when I say that, I'm not joking. Our washer machine, the dryer, the stove, and the microwave all have built-in Wi-Fi, and we get actual messages on our phone that tell us that when the lint thing in the dryer needs to be filled or when it needs to be serviced. I'm not joking. It actually communicates, and the washer and dryer are built by LG, and the refrigerator is by Samsung. Don't know who makes the dishwasher though. I probably should know that. It's black. I don't have a smart microwave at genius level. Okay, question number 6. The correct answer is B as in boy. B as in boy, killing the scum of society. The Balanced Life Studio, ladies and gentlemen. Jennifer is in the house. Quickly, we're on question number 6, so question number 7 is next. Again, this is Jennifer, who is right here, the Balanced Life Studio. You see her comment here, the Balanced Life. Hey everyone, how are you all? Very well. But again, these are the channel. Again, the Solar System Squad. That is Jennifer's new channel that she started for her kids and stuff. And again, as I went through, fun facts and animations, easy science explanations, interactive quizzes and songs, and adventures with space characters. And again, the bottom link is to her Balanced Life Studio. If she wants to promote that anymore, she can. I have a bad migraine, but always have to come support. Well, thank you again. But everyone, go check out her channel. The Solar System Squad. If you have children or grandchildren between the ages of 4 and 10, along with if you want to check out her Balanced Life Studio, where she does a little bit of everything on there, go check it out. Oh, question number 7 is now on your screen. Armstrong believed he couldn't get what from sex workers and could get what from sex workers? Was it A, he believed he couldn't get an STD and he believed he could get strength from them? Or is it B, he believed he couldn't get sins from them, but he could get wisdom? Or is it C, he couldn't get a death sentence from them, but he could gain more immortality? Or is it D, he believed he couldn't get knowledge from them, but he could get strength? Oh yeah. Well, I told you in our text message Jennifer, I was going to promote it on my stream tonight. Just happy to be able to do whatever I can to help. And I forgot to put myself back in my little window here. I'm sorry. Here's me. Question number 7. Armstrong believed he couldn't get what and could get what from sex workers. Question number 7. Okay, the kid's going like, question mark? I don't know. It could be. Question number 7. The correct answer is B as in boy. He believed he couldn't get sins from them. Killing them wasn't a sin. And he couldn't get a sin from them. Anything that he did to them or with them wasn't a sin. But he believed he could gain wisdom from each and every one of them. He believed as he killed them, he absorbed their knowledge, their wisdom. Yeah. I didn't say the guy was sane, but that's what he really believed. Question number 8. Armstrong would dump the bodies and watch the bodies from a distance for what reason? Was it A, to see if anyone would find them? B, to watch for the soul to leave? Or C, to relive the act over again? Or D, all of the above? Question number 8. And tonight, I am drinking Liquid Death Root Beer Wrath. I'm not sure if I like this one. It's not bad. It's just not my normal cup of tea. I drink a lot of Liquid Death, obviously, as we all know, every week. But, it's not bad, but it's not like, yay, it's exciting of a flavor. And my Costco stopped carrying it. I'm truly sorry to say that. Costco stopped carrying Liquid Death. It was a limited time, offer. But now I had to order it on Amazon. I had to go to Amazon. Which is cool because we have a warehouse, an Amazon warehouse that's like one city away from me. So it wasn't like they had to ship it all the way from, another state away to ship me water. It's the same price as it was at Costco. Was this guy an ultra religious crazy? No, but he was insane, Jennifer. He was definitely insane. Question number 8. The correct answer is D as in dog. All of the above. He wanted to see if anyone would find them. And he believed that after he killed them, that he could watch their souls leave their bodies. And he also wanted to relive the act over and over again. In case you're wondering, he had what they call an idyllic memory. He could recall everything exactly how it happened down to the tiniest detail over and over again. But he would kill them and dump their bodies near the river or a stream, whichever, the area where he dumped them. And then he would sit a ways away and then sit there and watch them and see if anybody would discover them. And if they did, what did they do? Did they call the cops or did they just walk on by? They're like, oh, look, dead body over there. And then walked away. But he would sit there for a while and watch them. Some of them, if nobody found them and nobody discovered them right away, he'd go back to them. He'd go back to them and, well, we don't want to get into too much of what he did, but let's just say he'd go back to them. Question number 9. When first questioned by law enforcement about the deaths, Armstrong claimed what? Was it A, accidents during consensual sex? B, the ritual killings? D, gang related? Or D, all of the above? Question number 9. When first questioned by law enforcement about the deaths, Armstrong claimed what? One was especially scary, but I can't remember his name. Weird Al Freak. Yes, he was, Gianna Marie. It's crazy that he looks normal. And you know, just somewhat. I mean, his earlier photos of him while going through the trial and his first interviews with he did one really good interview with 60 Minutes. And then he did one with an ABC reporter, which was just batshit nuts crazy. It was like he was talking backwards the entire time. He was just nuts. I don't know if he really has a mental health issue and they finally got him on medication. But later on, I'll tell you more about what his life in prison has been like all this time. Jeffrey Dahmer's normalcy freaked me out too. Yeah. Right? Pauly Shore did it. Question number 9. The correct answer is A as in apple. He said that he killed all of those victims, those 5 victims, and that he was being questioned about, and they all died during rough consensual sex. That was his story when law enforcement first started asking him and questioning him about the deaths. He said that they all died during rough consensual sex. Question number 10. DNA linked Armstrong to killing in which U.S. state besides Michigan? Was it A, Iowa, B, Hawaii, C, Washington, D.C., or D, all of the above? Pauly Shore's normalcy freaks you out. Question number 10 of 20. DNA linked Armstrong to killing in which U.S. state besides Michigan? We got A, D, A, and B. Meep, meep. Good evening, Meep. Welcome to tonight's trivia. I hope you've been doing well. It's good to see you made it tonight for trivia. We got Kitty Kid going with B, question mark? I don't know. D, another B. Gianna Marie and Joe Tallchief are going with B. Question number 10. The correct answer is B as in boy, Hawaii. Hawaii. His DNA positively linked him to a known prostitute that was found murdered and dumped not in near a body of water. She was found in a motel room, but his DNA was linked to her. Positively identified. But just because his DNA was there and on the victim, it's not enough to try him for the murder itself. He could say, I was there. I had sex with that prostitute. Yeah. But there's no proof that he is the one who actually killed her, even though his DNA was there. That is our first 10 questions. As I do each and every week, you can now take a 5 to 6 minute break. I will tell you when your break officially starts. It does not start right now, but you can go ahead and leave, do whatever you want. But I'm going to cover 2 cases of missing and endangered people from around the United States and Canada, like I do each week. I am proud to be partnering with organizations that help bring awareness to missing and endangered individuals, including the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, the Charlie Project, the FBI, the Alaska Bureau of Investigation's Indigenous Persons Unit, the RCMP, and NAMUS, along with state and local law enforcement agencies. We help to and hope to bring and shine a light on these cases and support the families impacted by these, their missing loved ones, and keep their stories alive in hopes of bringing a resolution. Again, I highlight these 3 cases because I know that all 3 of these ladies are alive and well out there somewhere. Someone just has to call in and tell them where they are or do it themselves. But April Dawn Andrews has been missing since 2006. She is definitely somewhere in the Arkansas area. We know that for a fact. There's way too many clues that we're not going to discuss that pinpoint that she is alive and well in that area. And we know it, and she's got to know at this point in time that people have, are pinpointing down. She can't keep on moving. She doesn't want to talk to her family. That's great. All she's got to do is pick up that and call that tip line and tell them, I'm alive, I'm well. Here's my birth date and my last 4 of my social security number or whatever. Confirm it's her, and they will take her off the database, and I will take her off of this screen. But she is out there. If you know anything about where April Dawn Andrews is, and I guarantee that she is not using that name. But that is an age progressed photo of what she may look like today. Add glasses, longer hair, shorter hair, different color, whatever at this point in time. But if you know anything about where she is, you can call 1-479-451-8220. Next one in the middle there is Anna Marie Wellborn, missing since 2021. Again, well over 4 dozen tips pinpoint her to a certain geographic location within the lower 48 states. Very much alive, and a family friend of her family's, friend of the family's, was one of the last ones to positively see her, and she ran from that individual. But she is out there alive and well, and we know it. Or if you know where any information about where Anna Marie Wellborn is, you can call 1-865-983-3620. And last but not least is Sylvania Morris over here on the right-hand side of your screen. We know she's alive and well, and she of all of these 3 ladies has probably the best reason for being missing. She was in an extremely abusive relationship and was not happy with what, and where her life was going. But she has been missing since 2016. If you know where Sylvania Morris is, you can call 1-415-553-1071. Again, if you're one of these 3 ladies, you can pick up that phone tomorrow. A cell phone, borrow someone's cell phone, use your own cell phone, call the number, and just confirm you're alive and well, and they will take you off the database, and I will remove you from this program. Your break officially starts now. Never give up hope. As long as there's hope, we can solve one of these cases is what we need to do. Never give up. The oldest missing case in person, was resolved in 2024, and she had been missing for 43 years when she was found alive and well. Our first case this week is Larry Dean Williams, who goes by the nickname of Rabbit. He was 15 years of age when he vanished. He was 67 as of the beginning of 2026. He's a Caucasian male, last seen in Long Beach, California. Last seen on 1/25 of 1975. 4'9", 90 pounds at the time when he was 15. Obviously, he's not 15 anymore, is he? He's 67, and I'm guessing his weight has definitely changed. Brown hair, brown eyes. No known features or habits were listed, but he does have a hernia scar on his abdomen. No known medical conditions. That is an age-progressed photo of what he would look like today. That is not an actual photograph of him, so bear that in mind. He's a white male with blonde hair, brown eyes. It all depends on if it's brown hair or blonde hair. Apparently, his hair lightens in the summertime. I don't know. Larry's nickname is Rabbit. He has a hernia scar, like I said, on his abdomen and a burn scar on the top of the crown of his head. He has a chipped front tooth, which all of the scar, may not be seen because of the way he wears his hair, and the chipped tooth could have been fixed. But again, Larry was last seen leaving his home in Long Beach, California on January 25th, 1975. On the way to Long Beach. He frequently hitchhiked between Long Beach and Seal Beach in California. He has never been heard from again, and few tips and details are available in his case. You can call 1-562-43-6711 if you know anything, or you can go to www.411gina.org. I have no affiliation with this group at all. It's just another missing persons website out there that lists cases of missing people, and they've taken on the name 411. But again, I'm not affiliated with them. You can go to either the website or call that number if you know anything about where Larry is. Next, our second case is Elaine Frances Hyson, known otherwise by the nickname of Franny. She is 69 years of age as of 2025. Her birthday for this year has not come up yet. She is a Caucasian female. She was last seen in Napa, California. Last seen on 6/1 of 1976. Take a very good look at this photo. Now, age progressed this photo. This is of her in her late 30s, somewhere in late 20s, early 30s, right there. Now, progress that to the age of 69. Obviously, her hair would most likely be gray, or she's dyeing her hair at this point. She is 5'2", 150 pounds when she disappeared. Brown eyes, brown hair. Features and habits: she is a smoker or was a smoker at the time of her disappearance. She does have a scar on her right knee, and no medical conditions other than that are noted in her file. Hyson was last seen in Napa, California on June 1st, 1976. She left the residency she shared with her father and her brother en route to a bridal party dress fitting in Valencia, California. She never arrived for the fitting for the bridal dress and has never been heard from or seen again. Her car was later found abandoned in a parking lot, and it appears that it may have broken down because it did not start when they tried to restart the car. All the luggage and everything that she had packed to go out of town for this wedding was left at home. It wasn't in the car. So she wasn't planning on skipping town after the bridal fitting or anything else. And the actual wedding that she was supposed to be attending was for a very good friend of hers who was getting married. If you know anything about what happened to Hyson, you can call 1-707-299-1521, or you can go to Name Us, and that is the link directly to the Name Us website page for her. It may reroute you to the main page, though. And again, for the two cases of those who are missing, neither one of them are taking anonymous tips. Did you know you can support my channel in these ways? Every single week, you can give gifts during the live stream or after. Super chat, super sticker during and after. Super thanks. Anytime after the stream, channel membership. I make about 4 3/4 cents per day after YouTube fees. Again, it's $1.99 for the lowest level. Merchandise purchased from swag from the fan store, hats, cups, t-shirts, all kinds of stuff there. Make PayPal donation directly at the link there anytime, or join my Patreon. The lowest level on Patreon is $3.95 a month, though. It is more expensive. Thank you for watching the Missing and Endangered Cases tonight. Break time is not over with just yet. I will tell you shortly how much time is left of your break. If it's seconds or minutes, you have 2 minutes. Golden State Murder. The Golden State Murderer, wasn't that Joseph D'Angelo? If I'm wrong, please forgive me, but I sometimes it's hard to keep the nicknames of these serial killers and these killers correct. I know who the killer is. I can picture him, but I can't remember if that's his correct name though. Skid Row Slasher. You have 1 minute. 1 minute of the break left. 1 minute. 1 minute. One minute. Hurry. Hurry. Slam that beer. Chug, 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 chug. Randy Kraft. Randy Kraft was around in the 70s. Yeah. Callie Lisa, thank you very much for being a channel member for 14 months. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Without channel membership, it'd be really hard to stay around. Because I don't make money from ad revenue. Well, not a lot. I make way more, and it keeps this channel going because of those who are channel members. And Left-Handed RN has been a channel member for 16 months. Meep, Pabst Blue Ribbon. And we are back from our break. Without further delay, question number 11 is now on your screen. How many full confessions did Armstrong painstakingly write out in full detail? And when I say full detail, ladies and gentlemen, I wish that if each and every one of you could sit down, you wouldn't want to, but you at least I wish you all had the option to sit down and read just one of his confessions. You can find excerpts of them on the Internet Archives. There were a couple of different news channels back then that did get them through the Freedom of Information Act request after he went to prison. But I can't get them right now. I filed for them a while ago, and it's been over 3 months, and I still haven't heard back on them, my request. But that talk about painstakingly detailed, like confessions, though. How many did he write out? Was it A, 22, B, 5, C, 12, or D, 16? How many full confessions did Armstrong painstakingly write out in full detail? Question number 11 of 20. So, I for some reason, Meep said Pabst Blue Ribbon in a comment section, but for some weird reason, I've got that Hams song in my head. I don't know why. From the sky blue waters, Hams the beer refreshing, Hams the beer refreshing, Hams. I don't know why that song is in my head when Meep wrote PBR. Question number 11. The correct answer is B as in boy. All 5 of the women that he was convicted of murdering after he was sentenced and sent to prison, he sat down with the FBI and the state police and wrote out a confession for each and every one of the 5. Wrote it out in full, disgusting detail. Reminds me of the Blue Velvet. Question number 12. One of Armstrong's victims was discovered in which unusual location? Was it A, in a freezer, B, buried in his own backyard, C, in a sewer, or D, floating near a dock? Question number 12 of 20. For the mountains of Bush beer. That was a good movie, though. Blue Velvet. Rainier beer. Kinnick is going D? Question mark? I don't know. Could be. Question number 12. One of Armstrong's victims was discovered in which unusual location? The correct answer is D, as in dog. Floating near a dock. As far as we know, this is one of the only victims that Armstrong murdered, where he disposed of the victim in water. All the other ones were buried or placed on the ground next to a body of water, river, or stream. But this one was found floating near a dock. Only one victim. Question number 13. Investigators describe finding each victim posed for what effect? Was it A, humiliation, B, shock, C, graphic, or D, all of the above? Question number 13 of 20. Each victim posed for what? Meep is going with A. Left-handed RN is going with D. D. D seems to be popular for this one. Question number 13 of 20. The correct answer is D as in dog. All of the above. Humiliation, shock, and to be as graphic as possible. All of the above. Question number 14. Before his arrest, Armstrong worked in which civilian occupation? Was it A, a police officer, B, a factory worker, C, a security guard, or D, a mechanic? Question number 14 of 20. Meep has never seen or heard of this guy. Yeah. He was convicted in the early 2000s. And, well, we'll get into what his sentence is, but he is on the list of one of the most, not prolific. We'll get into it as the questions go on. Peter Q's going with B? Question mark. I don't know. It could be. Could be a factory worker. We don't know. Question number 14. 14. The correct answer is B as in boy. He worked as a factory worker. His mattress tag guard. He worked in several different factories over his time after leaving the United States Navy. And in the last job that he had, he was what they called a service technician in the factory. That was what his job was, a service technician. Question number 15. What did Armstrong do in the days following each of the murders and discovery of the victim? Was it A, he often joined search parties? B, he went on as normal? C, he went to peep shows? Or D, he wrote love letters to the victims? Question number 15 of 20. What did Armstrong do following each of the murders and discovery of the victims? Calisa, left-hand right B, lemon pie C, Calisa B, Meep A, Kathleen A, and Kiniku E, meth in a Yugo with a crazy mountain lion. Lemon Pie says he binge watched Becker. Was that the show with Ted Danson? And Kiniku is going, C, question mark? I don't know. But question number 15. 15 of 20. What did Armstrong do in the days following each of the murders? The correct answer to question number 15 is A as in apple. Armstrong often would join search parties looking for the victims themselves. And then he would do, after they found the victim and they were looking for additional leads, He would go canvassing with the other people, volunteers, looking for eyewitnesses. Hey, do you work over here? Do you live over here? Did you see anything? The police need to talk to you. He would join in the search parties and the canvassing after they found the victims. Yes, Ted Danson. I think he was Becker. Kind of looks like him. Question number 16. Armstrong strangled each of his victims using what? Was it A, an electrical cord, B, a belt, C, his bare hands, or D, wire? What did he use to strangle each of his victims? Kitty Kid going with C? I don't know. Could be. Could be. We don't know. Lieutenant RN is going with A, Meep, C, and Kathleen is going with C as well. Ooh. Catalisa C, Lemon Pie is going with A. Question number 16. The answer to question number 16 is C as in cat. C as in cat, his bare hands. He wanted to feel their last breath leaving their body as they died. And here's an odd question, as I was researching this, this is from my notes. So he strangled his victims with his bare hands, but he didn't think that their soul left their body when he killed them immediately, because he would then back up, go a distance away, and sit and watch the body to see if anybody would discover it, or if he could see the soul leave the body itself. Why did he not think that the soul would leave the body after he strangled him? I was going through my notes and reading about this guy, and I could not find an answer to that. Someone's going to have to write him a letter. Question number 17. What helped Armstrong get away undetected for many years? Was it A, he removed his fingerprints from evidence? There was no fingerprints found there. Not that he burned them off of his fingers or something, but he removed them. Or is it B, embedded himself in the homeless population? Or C, he stayed away from cameras? Or D, he listened to police traffic? Question number 17 of 20. What helped Armstrong get away undetected for many years? Dun, 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 dun. Question number 17. How did this freak get away undetected for many years? Kitty Kid's going with D? Question mark? I don't know. Could be. Dun, 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 dun. John Marie's going with B. Meep is going with D. Lieutenant RN, D. Lemon Pie says E because of a permanent co-host on The View. He became a permanent co-host on The View. That's how he got away with it for so many years. I don't even know where my cat is. Uh-oh. He loves trivia night. Meow, meow. Excuse me. Question number 17. The correct answer is B as in boy. When he was finally arrested and they put his picture on the news, a lot of homeless people came forward to the police and said they believed that he was the man that they knew as Joseph, who lived in an area near the actual shipyard in another homeless population. That's what they believed who he was. When they went down to that area and showed his picture around, everybody believed that he was one of the guys who hung out there and that they've seen multiple times. He embedded himself in the homeless population. So when he was out there after he dumped them, or if he was just sitting on the street somewhere watching the crime scene, they just believed that he was just another one of the homeless people. And that's why he was there. And no one paid him any attention. He embedded himself in the homeless population. Pretty smart. No one really looks at and pays attention to a homeless person, do they? You see them. You don't look in their eyes. You don't look at their face and, to ID them, do you? You just like, I'm sorry. That's so sad that that person's homeless. And then you walk on or you drive away. But he embedded himself in the homeless population. Everybody around that area, the areas where he dumped them, they all thought he was just another homeless person. But it wasn't. He had a home. He had a job. He had places he had to be every day. Not that people who are homeless don't have jobs. There's a lot of working poor who live in their cars or have to live in a tent or whatever. And they have jobs. They just can't afford anything. The last month damage deposit, all the stuff they even get into in an apartment or someplace. So I'm not disparaging the people who are homeless. I'm just saying there are a lot of people out there that are working poor, that are caught in the really shitty situations. But all the people around, when they finally saw him on the news after he was arrested, and charged with the crimes, they're like, hey man, that's the guy we thought he was homeless and he lived in this area. Question number 18. The FBI and Interpol believe Armstrong killed in which Asian Pacific country, but will never be able to prove it? Was it A, Japan, B, South Korea, C, the Philippines, or D, Thailand? Western Washington is a very beersy place. It used to be. I would say that more past tense, Joe Tall Chief. There used to be Hams, Rainier, Olympia beer, and then Coors. And Coors, what the hell were they before they got bought out? Coors Labatt. All four of those major breweries used to be in Seattle, Tacoma, Olympia area. A lot of them are gone now, but what has replaced them is a lot of micro brewing companies are in Western Washington now. So I don't know if it's more or less. They're not as big giants. Anheuser-Busch moved to the Portland, Vancouver area. So I'm sure that there's some, some form of the major breweries around still. I know that the tasting room, because me and my friends, we used to go to the tasting room at Rainier. And you get like these little tiny, about that big of a little plastic cup, and you could go up to little taps and taste them. No, you couldn't stay there all day long. You only got to taste one. And so you couldn't go, oh, look, they have 12 different ones. I'm going to take a little cup from each of the 12. No, you got one little cup and you could try one little sample. And that was it. Because otherwise, my friends never would have left. He was in the Navy. So maybe B, says Meep. Question number 18. The correct answer is D as in dog. Thailand. Thailand is where they believe he committed, murder of a prostitute there. And the reason why they will never be able to convict him of that murder is because the body and everything, because of their rituals on how they actually, once someone dies, the elders come in, they wash the body, and they treat the body, then they wrap the body in almost immediately after someone is discovered dead. So any forensic evidence that may have been on the body itself has long been gone, and then the body is either cremated or it's buried. And in the case of this, sex worker, she was cremated shortly thereafter, so there's no chance of ever going back to find any evidence at all. So, but the FBI and Interpol do believe that he definitely killed in Thailand. Question number 19. What year did they finally arrest Armstrong for murder? Was it A, in 1999, B, 1997, or C, 2000, or D, 2001? Meep, you haven't gotten one right? Wait till we get to the end of it, and I'll tell you how many I knew before putting this trivia night together. You're all going to be shocked. Question number 19. What year did they finally arrest this scumbag? We got C. Gianna Marie's going with A, lemon pie. Going with B. Lemon pie is also going in the year 2525. Will man still be alive? Lieutenant RN is going with C, Meep B. Sweet Universe B. Kitty A. I don't know. Question mark. I don't know. And Kathleen is going with A as well. What year did they finally arrest Armstrong for murder? The correct answer is C, as in cat, in the year 2000. Question number 20 of 20. What ultimately was the sentence handed down to Armstrong for murder? Was it A, a death sentence, B, 40 years, no parole, C, multiple life sentences with no parole, or D, 225 years? Question number 20 of 20. What ultimately was the sentence handed down to Armstrong for murder? Kitticker is going with C, question mark, Kathleen, A, Sweet Universe B, Lisa C, Lieutenant RN is going with C as well. What ultimately was the sentence for scumbag Armstrong? Lemon pie is going with A. The correct answer to question number 20 is C as in cat. C as in cat. He was given 5 life sentences with no possibility of parole. 5 life sentences. He must serve all of the sentence, all of it. He will die in prison. He has to be the next host on The Bachelor. That is all of our 20 questions. John Eric Armstrong killed all year long in the dead of the night, during the winter, hot summer night. He didn't care. When the impulse to kill came to him, he went out and he killed. He got all of his victims the same day that he would kill them. He didn't hunt for them very long. There was a very popular area, stroll, if you will, in the Detroit area, on in and around the 9 Mile area, and 6 Mile area, where he knew he could go and find prostitutes, and he would kill them. He got one, got him in his car, and that game over. They weren't coming out of that car alive. And he would do the same thing every time. How did you do on tonight's trivia? This is optional, but before putting this together, ladies and gentlemen, I knew three of the 20. I would have gotten 3 correct. I have only heard of this man and his crimes once before, and it just happened to be that the reason why I had heard of Armstrong in the past was because of a possible missing person case that I was going to be highlighting. I never did highlight her case because she was found eventually dead, and she wasn't connected to Armstrong. But anyways, they believed that there was a possibility that she may have been one of his victims. And that is the only time I've ever heard of this guy. So if you've never heard of Armstrong before tonight, don't feel bad. I hadn't almost never heard of him. I heard of like that one little connection in the past, but I would have gotten a solid D on tonight's trivia. Of course, it's completely optional. We are only playing for entertainment purposes here, and for education. We are not, and no one is better than anyone else at this. We can't know everything about every serial killer. Got a question or a topic idea? I strive to have the most accurate trivia online. However, mistakes do happen. I am only human after all. If you've seen an error or have a follow-up question, maybe just, have an idea for a trivia subject matter, shoot me an email at 411nowbusiness@gmail.com. That is all one word, no underscores, nothing else in there. Please put in the subject title, trivia or question to start off the actual title of your email. That way it helps me filter it out. If I don't answer back right away, please resend it in a week. I try to answer back, and I try to filter them out and answer them, the order they're received. But I get thousands of emails every single week. Every week. It's pretty pathetic, actually. And I want to hear from my viewers and my subscribers, but when you get a whole lot of emails like that. But again, thank you for playing along with tonight's trivia. Kiddiku, I got 13, just guessing and maybe just possibly waiting to see what left-hand RN said. Me didn't get even a D. Well, you got a rock star. Every one of you is a rock star. So next week's trivia. Don't know what it is going to be yet. I got two that are almost done. Almost done. I got about 18 questions on each of them. We'll have to wait and see what it is. I noticed that on YouTube today that if you go to my channel to the main page, it wasn't listing my streams at the top that are upcoming. They were all the way to the bottom. Don't know what's going on there. YouTube and their infinite wisdom of moving things around on the page. But I'm talking about playlists on that page where where everything is organized, channel member videos, and popular videos, watch videos, stuff like that, where it's all organized out in different categories. It normally at the top it has upcoming streams, but for some reason they're on the bottom. What's next week's? Not sure yet, Kitty Q. It's either going to be the death penalty in America, which is, I got about 18 questions that are ready, that are done about that, or it's going to be on Israel Keys. One to two. Both of them are almost done. It all depends on which one I finish first. And that will be next week's trivia. Death penalty or Israel Keys. Right, I looked earlier to see about tonight's and didn't see anything. It was all the way to the bottom. You had to scroll all the way to the bottom of all the lists. I got about 10 different categories of things that are there, but it was, for some reason it wasn't at the top. It was at the bottom. I paid $2,000 down to get your apartment. Wow, it's insane. Me and my wife were talking about this the other day about rent costs, and the say you're hypothetically, I'm just going to give this as a hypothetical situation. Let's say my daughter, who is just out of high school, going to college, put him to college age, because she is in her in her mid-20s. Let's say she's working a full-time job and she's going to school. How the hell is someone like that going to be able to afford an apartment? I mean, in my area, for an apartment, $1,500 a month is about the average in this town. A month, $1,500 a month for that. Now you got to come up with first, last month, damage deposit, and if you have a pet, like she's got a cat, I mean, that's even more. And then there's the cost of actually moving all your stuff there. And if you have everything, and setting up your apartment, I mean, that's $4,500 just to get into an apartment. Bare minimum. First, last month in damage deposit. Some places, if you're renting like a duplex, or if you're in a duplex, they want first, last month, and they want, on top of the damage deposit, they want, the next like 2 months worth of rent. I know for the lady who owns the house next to ours, she rents it out to he's a police officer that lives next door to me, and she requires not only first month, last month's rent, damage deposit, which is equal to 2 months rent. So I don't know how much she charges per month to rent that house, but it's up there. I was like, hey man, cut him a break. I mean, it looks good to see the squad car sitting in the driveway every night. He works day shift. Apartments are $1,800 a month for a 1-bedroom. You have to have roommates, Callie, Lisa. Yeah. And that's what a lot of my hypothetically, my someone around my daughter's age, they would have to do it. They would have to get, at least another roommate, if not two, and do that way just to be able to afford it. Because the rents have gone up, but incomes have stayed stagnant. How the hell do you pay for that stuff? It's insane. And living on campus here, that's not an option even for some students. That's for an apartment they are supposed to be able to save on the side and hopefully at some point buy a home. It's crazy. Yeah, I know. And you ain't buying a house anywhere near me. Yeah, that's for sure. Not if you're in your 20s, unless you have somehow lucked into a really, 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 really good job. I don't know what the medium cost is, but I would say the medium cost is probably 560,000 somewhere in there. Little over a $500,000 for a house and our development that we live in. I would say it's probably about the average. Some go for a lot more, some go for a lot less. All depends on if they've been renovated, because most of these houses were built in 1944, and a lot of them have been very heavily modified. But yeah, I don't know how the younger, and those that are just starting off, how they're going to get into anything. And I think back to me and my wife were talking about this. Like I said, when we first started dating, we moved into our first house together. We lived in a duplex, and we were paying, I think, 510, 515 a month for rent. That was what our rent was. And our rent covered that covered our electricity. The only other bill we had besides that was cable and sewer trash. But our electricity was covered in at 515. And we thought that was expensive then. I mean, paying $1,500-$1,800 a month now. I don't know how people are going to be able to do it. It's insane. It is absolute insanity. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to wrap up tonight's trivia night. I want to thank everyone again for being here and playing along for trivia night tonight. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, give it a thumbs up before we get out of here. If you didn't enjoy it, give it a thumbs down. Leave a comment if you're watching this after the live and tell me what you thought of it. If you liked it, they're going to be back. If you're not already subscribed, I would appreciate you clicking on that subscribe button, to join the community so you'll be notified when the next, content live stream is. Again, even if you don't want to do any of that, we play live trivia every single Sunday night. This is the 397th edition. Yeah, that means there are 397, of these live streams in the past. And we're going to keep on going from here. Again, thank you everyone for being here and for supporting this content with, if nothing else, for just watching it. I appreciate it, every one of you. You all have a great week. And as Purple says, you never know who's going to be standing next to you next, and you never know who's going to be knocking at your door. Bye.